Welcome to Elevate and Dominate.
Let me take you back to one of my recent adult experiences that was so crushing. I froze in front of senior management during a presentation. I thought I prepared for this presentation. I stayed up all night preparing for this presentation. And I stood in front of everyone and my tongue felt like it was attached to the upper side of my mouth. And there was no saliva. I was sweating. I was perspiring. Everything was just all over the place. It was humiliating. It was horrible. But what that particular experience taught me was that there are skills I needed to learn. Just because I fumbled that day and totally got my butt kicked did not mean that I was bad at it. It was a skill I needed to cultivate, a skill I needed to learn. Long story short, I joined Toastmasters and, well, we are getting better day by day. But this also reminded me the power of vulnerability and courage, which is what I am talking about today. There's no courage without being vulnerable. I was vulnerable enough to stand in front of senior management. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I still showed up. And I had to tell myself that someone else would have just said, no, I won't do it. But I still showed up. And as human beings, I feel we are so we are so hard on ourselves that sometimes we do not understand that just showing up is also good enough. So how do you live a more courageous life? Number one, understand that you belong. You don't need validation to know that you belong. Wherever you are, in that boardroom, in that meeting, you're not warming a chair. You are there because your voice is needed there, your thought process is needed there, and you belong. Be comfortable enough to say something, feel something. One of my absolute to-do when I'm anywhere, or at least where they will give me an opportunity to talk, is that I will lift my hand up and speak. But the voice will shake. It shakes. And that's okay, because I've also learned that the nerves also come with growth. Uncomfortability is always there when you're growing because your brain is extremely, excruciatingly afraid of change. Because it cannot make a difference between a lion chasing you and you just speaking in front of senior management. Literally, the things that light up in our brains are the same. And that's just to show you how much you need to learn how to use your brain to work for you instead of against you. And also, ignore all criticism. Do not be fixated on the wanting to be liked or wanting to be understood. Not everybody will understand you. Not everybody is meant to understand you. But everybody that is meant for you will find you when you're being authentic. And also, stop all comparison. I can't be you because you're already taken. You can't be me because I'm already taken. Show up as your most authentic, most vulnerable, most real self. And I always say this, even with leaders. I will only be, or your subordinate will only be as vulnerable to you, as vulnerable as you can be to them. Because our humanness is what builds us together. And even as institutions, there is no innovation without vulnerability. And in any organization, if you want innovation, you will have to understand that you need to make an environment that is vulnerability friendly. So remember, courage comes with vulnerability. But what that comes with also is a heightened sense of your inner critic. Don't believe everything your mind says to you, because 9 out of 10, those thoughts are never even real. Don't believe in things that do not empower you. whether it's coming from outside or coming from in here. Only you have the power to create the reality that you want. And for you to show up as your grandest, best, and most authentic version of yourself, you have to learn to accept, but also silence your inner critic. Remember to like the video and subscribe, and please comment down below what really stood out for you. How are you going to show up as a more courageous and more vulnerable version of yourself?